the UK mandated that companies that have over, I think it is 250 employees, have to publish information about the gender pay gap in their organization. And we said, well, okay, that's great, but how much can we learn from this? And what more can we do with this?
There's basically like the 4 or 5 of us in a pub, and we literally, we were just like, patriarchy, Google, blah, 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 blah. And then, we were like, maybe we could do like a hack. So, you are pioneers. Welcome to Gender Pay Gap Hack Day! Yay!
We want to use the power of artificial intelligence and data science to push for equal pay and accelerate gender parity. The prize for us is pushing forward gender equality.
Technology has a way of, if you're not careful, just reinforcing those same biases that exist in the rest of the world. And thank you so much. Have fun. Happy hacking.
So our half of the table is working on charity data.
So we're working on matching up the gender pay data with data with the job descriptions in the Indeed data set.
I am working on the visual aspects of it.
Just looking at the data without any assumptions.
Okay, I think we're kind of the dropout team. Fiona works on the
Company data?
on the company data, so I like halfway through changed what I wanted to do, and I'm now working on the Twitter data. Crack on!
And the idea is the chatbot is meant to simulate a recruiter and it's supposed to offer the candidate a job, and then the candidate either accepts and that's kind of over and they're happy, but the idea is that the chatbot will offer them a really low salary.
Okay, so for the chatbot, and I think the process is much better than I imagined before.
Like, you can order so much.
Trustees that are composed of men tend to have a worse pay gap than trustees which are composed mainly of women, which is really interesting. It's quite cool to see actually that the trustees perhaps may have an impact on the gender pay gap in their charities. So maybe something to send out to a policymaker in Parliament.
What sort of show is that some of the bigger, wealthier charities seem to have slightly larger gender pay gaps. Couldn't really get anything which seems statistically significant, but there was a bit of a trend there.
It's actually a case of the total number of male directors is 4 times the number of female directors. But I think what's really telling is that when you start getting to sort of the top of the food chain, so when you're sort of at upper middle management, that's when the gap starts to increase. And then once you've sort of made it to the top of the tree, that's where you've got the biggest gap.
Spun out pretty quickly on a slightly separate project. And ended up mapping the pay gap by parliamentary constituency because I like to weaponize data. So it's much more spread out than I would have thought actually. It's not like there are particular clusters in certain regions, but what this means is that if you had this data set, then you could marry that up with some kind of campaigning tool and lobby MPs.
I expected it would be the bigger the company, the less the gap size, but definitely in finance it's getting really, the gap is even bigger.
Hi, would you like to hear good news?
Yes, please.
Congratulations! We would like to make you an offer to join the team as a senior data scientist. Let's talk. How much do you want?
A big hand to the hackers!